I think that this is one of the best defensive units Brian Kelly has put together during his time at LSU. If you looked at the transition of the last few years in the defense and the defensive rankings, I believe LSU was the third worst defense in the SEC. And then the year prior with Matt House in his final year, they were the worst. And then the year before, they were the fifth best. So that's a confusing crescendo. You go from fifth to last. It just progressively got worse. But I do think this is one of the best units that you'll see. They've been giving the offensive line hell in spring, and that can go two ways because that's your offensive line. Like, yeah, the D line's doing good, but they're doing good versus your O line. So I mean, it's a double-sided sword. However, I think that that's an iron sharpen iron opportunity. I think that that's an opportunity for LSU to be able to understand this is a weak point for the team, the offensive line, and we're going to 100% use the defensive line to boost it up. I think that they're very talented, and you need to get to the quarterback in this day and age. If not, you're going to be sitting there putting your DBs in a tough spot. They're going to be guarding coverage down the field 4-5 seconds, and the quarterback's going to be able to prop a lawn chair up in the pocket and just sit there and decipher with a microscope through that defense. The pressure has to come through and get people off their spots, plain and simple. I think LSU's defensive line pressure will be very good this season. Let's talk about depth options. Let's keep it defensive related. At the DB position, you got options. You got more options than you have had in years. I mean, let's talk about last season. You've had safeties that were cross-training, starting at cornerback because you had who you had. And that's the tough part about knowing your starters in spring. There's a double-sided aspect to that as well. Yeah, sure, you got consistency and you know your guys that you're going to roll out there, but you don't got a lot of decisions to be made. You're left with what you had. You're left to your own devices. We only got these two starters. This is a hypothetical situation, but you would only have those two starters because that's all you got that's worth putting out there in the field. It's not always what it's cracked up to be. I think these DB battles and the ability to be able to have this many rotations, it's going to put LSU in a great situation because if this group doesn't work in week one, they can 100% flip it over on its head at damn near at halftime and have a whole new DB group go out there. Everybody's thinking it's Mansour, Delane, and Ashton Stamps. It could be Mansour and PJ. It could be Mansour and DJ, Mansour and Jakeem. You got a lot of names out there. In the safety room, you got a corner in Javion Toviano who's lighting shit up. Jordan Gilbert's coming back. Deshaun Spears is looking great. Joel Rogers has made his presence felt. Austin Osbury's coming in at the backup star. You got so many names. I'm rattling off names left and right. What about Michael Turner? They got all kind of pieces here. They got Wallace Foster. They got names on names on names. And now, are they all going to play? Are they all going to be elite? Are they all going to be lockdowns? Maybe not. But you have the option. When you have options, you're not handcuffed behind your back sitting there looking, man, I don't know what to pick. I barely got anything to choose from. LSU's not in that point right now. Everybody knows to win a championship, you got to be great on both sides of the football, offense and defense. You can't just score 40 because, unfortunately, we got to watch Jaden Daniels and Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors do that every week and come up short sometimes because in college football, it's not enough to be able to just have a great offense, carry you. Even the best ones in recent memory struggle without a top defense. Now, I think the fact that LSU can put these guys out there, I think it then plays into the defensive line a little bit. Now, I think this is where it becomes complimentary. You heard Brian Kelly say complimentary football. What does that mean, though? That means that both squads, both sides of the ball are going out there helping each other out. They're not going out there just, defense coming out, stopping the ball over and over and over and over, getting turnover on downs over and over and over, and the offense keeps going back out there and punting, or putting the defense right back on the field after a drive. That's not complimentary football. You want the offense to slowly, methodically, have a balanced approach and come in with a little bit of runs, a little bit of short passes, a little bit of deep shots. Yeah, one-play touchdown's great, but you got to keep in mind those DBs, those D linemen, all those players that just played 11 to 12 plays on that drive, they're back out there huffing and puffing and dreaming of getting on the oxygen tank. The complimentary football aspect, I think, it's in its best spot that it's ever been here for LSU. Now, perfect segues because we're going to talk about offensive balance. That's the last thing I'm going to say that's going to be brand new for LSU this spring. We keep talking about the creativity. We keep talking about all these packages. Here's why it matters. If everybody wants Garrett Nussmeier to throw the deep ball, look, we got Coco Diaz in the chat. Doesn't get much better than a deep ball. We got Floby. Accuracy is concerning me. Guess what, guys? You want to know how to prevent the worries, the concerns, and how to look for the deep ball and get that into your arsenal? You run the ball well, methodically, creatively, to where they don't know what's coming. There's a wide receiver in the backfield, and there's Caden Durham right here. What side do we line up on? If you line up right here trying to stop this wideout from going outside, Caden Durham's coming down the middle and busting you. If you stack the box like this, I'm making the wideout run a route out of the backfield. Now, everybody is worried about what's up front. What's up front? Stack the box, give me pressure, make sure you got corners on the line and their flats, or hell, they might even press. And then guess what? Hey, Chris Hilton, go for 70, dog. Garrett Nussmeier, boom, down the sideline. Barry Brown, cut a little post route, boom. That's how Nussmeier is going to turn over his expectations to a decent quarterback prospect to the best quarterback prospect. I'm not going to lie. I think you're looking at the best quarterback in the SEC. I think that everybody's attention is going to 100% be focused on to him. Now, you're setting up the defense and just rocking them to sleep like you're crossing them over or something. You're hitting the damn Kyrie Irving size-up package, and you're about to snatch back, boom, Garrett Nussmeier, 70-yard deep ball. You've got to give the defense options to look at, to get confused at, to bite on. You've got to give them bait. It's like fishing. What, you going to throw your bait in the water and just let it sit there and hope a fish comes up and murks it? Nah, bro, you're playing with it a little bit, reeling it in. You might even change the color, bro. You might even have to put on a whole new damn bait. I think this offense is going to have very, very tricky scheme to be able to guard. They're going to have a lot of people biting on hooks. Look at the different schemes that you got. I wrote them all down for you. You've had wide receivers in the backfield. You got the split back sets. You got Juwan Johnson quarterback motioning. All these different things. Let me tell you why a motion makes sense. A lot of people might understand this and might get this concept. If you don't, I'm breaking it down for you right now. You know how when the play's about to start and you see somebody running before the play starts, like Garrett Nussmeier says something, does this, and here comes Aaron Anderson running behind center, going to the other side of the field before the play starts, and then he's already at top speed, kind of. A lot of people are thinking, well, that's just to give him a running start. Partially. It's also to be able to test the coverage. If Garrett Nussmeier sees a too high safety, he's got two options. If it's not a shell. If it's a shell, it could be a 1 high, 3 high, whatever. They're just disguising it. But at the start of the play, if there's a 2 high safety, you got two options. You got to cover 2 or you got to cover 4 quarter. Depending on how those corners are lined up on the outside, if they're a little closer, you know it's a 2. If they're a little backed up, you know it's a 4. Where does the motion come into play, though, guys? Here's where it comes into play. If somebody is running pre-snap and somebody's running with them, it's a man coverage play. Your man has to follow you everywhere you go. If Aaron Anderson runs pre-snap for Garrett Nussmeier and someone's running with him, the 2 high now turns into a man coverage, 2 high man, a blitz package potentially. Garrett can pre-snap diagnose a lot of things. If no one runs with him, it's the opposite. It's a zone coverage. Whoever was over him initially can't move because that is his spot. That's his zone. That's his position. LSU's putting Garrett Nussmeier in a spot to 100% diagnose everything before the play starts and have a couple of options to be able to hit. Everybody, I saw someone talk about, oh, he's robotic, he's this, he's that. It don't make sense to me because with the way he's going through his progressions, with the way he's using his head, it's going to be damn hard to be able to tell where he's going. Plus, it's going to be hard to be able to like stop it, to be able to prep for it, to be able to potentially prevent it. Because you don't know what's coming. If you're mixing up this many people in the backfield, this many type of offensive play combinations, this type of offensive focus, the defense isn't going to know whether to blitz, send pressure off the edge, drop some people back in coverage and potentially stop a deep ball. They don't know what to do because you got answers for every single adjustment that they have. It's like trying to patch up a new leak, and every single time you patch one up, 2 new ones pop up. You're not keeping no water in the bucket like that, coach. The more you keep them guessing, the harder it is to stop the offense, and that is all there is to it. I think those are the 3 things you'll see new from LSU this season. Hopefully it's a damn good one.